Hey guys, Rachel here. Sorry it's been a while since I've uploaded. My laptop had a little accident and then I caught COVID, so I've had a fair bit to catch up on. Anyway, today I'm going to show you how to sculpt a realistic severed finger out of polymer clay. Start off by conditioning your clay and mixing 4 parts Super Sculpey to 1 part Sculpey Premo translucent and just a tiny pinch of Granite. You'll see that the pinch of Granite adds realistic imperfections to the skin that look similar to small blackheads or freckles. This is my go-to mixture for skin. I'll leave the recipe in the description below. Feel free to tint your skin lighter or darker, or even an unhealthy blue or green tint. You can do this using a very small amount of alcohol inks or a tiny pinch of coloured clay. Be careful not to overdo it, as the coloured clay will make your flesh more opaque. We're going to roll it out into a basic finger shape by starting with a sausage and then tapering one end. Check the length against your own finger and then trim off any excess. For extra strength, I like to twist some armature wire, cut down the length of the finger and embed it. Close the clay around the wire, being careful to squeeze out any excess air and then smooth the seams. Once we've got the basic finger shape, we're going to go ahead and start adding some line work. I'm going to start with the back of the finger where they naturally crease as they bend, and then roll it over and get stuck into the knuckles. I'm going to add some extra clay by rolling out very small tapered sausages and build up the skin on the knuckles. The best reference you have for this is really right in front of you, so just keep looking at your own fingers while you work on this one. Smooth in the edges using a small ball tool or a needle tool and add some extra lines. While you've been sculpting, if you find that your finger has gotten longer than you need it to be, then just go ahead and chop off that excess. I like to make it extra jagged so it looks like it's been hacked off. I'm going to mark out the nail bed with my needle tool and then scrape out some of the excess clay. For the fingernail, I've rolled out a very thin sheet of translucent clay and used the natural jagged edge as the broken nail. Tuck in the edge of the nail using the needle tool and smooth it over. Now you can remove the excess and clean up any remaining bits of clay. I like to add a tiny bit of white clay to the top of the nail, which is what happens when you sustain an injury or a bang to your nail bed. With some extra ouch factor, I'm going to add a split, which some people find very disturbing. Sorry about that. I'm going to use a ball tool to make a hole and add this pre-baked piece of bone that I've made from half white polymer clay and half translucent. Add a little bit of bacon bond or clay adhesive and push the bone in. I'm going to push in some of the skin coloured clay around the bone, creating a hollow cavity which I can add flesh to. The flesh is a translucent clay mixture which has a tiny bit of the skin colour and also a little bit of red to give it a more pink appearance. I'm going to pack that in there and use very small ball tools and needle tools to create a fleshy texture. Now we're going to smooth out those wrinkles and make them more realistic by using a tiny bit of Sculpey clay softener. Only use this sparingly because, as the name suggests, it will soften your clay and we don't want to end up with a big stodgy mess. I'm going to set it aside overnight for any excess clay softener to absorb into the clay before baking. Once the clay seems dry enough, I'm going to bake it in a bed of bicarb soda. This is a great trick that helps prevent burning and discoloration of translucent clays, and also prevents your work developing any flat patches during the baking process. I'm going to pop it in the oven and bake it according to Sculpey's instructions for a good 60 minutes at 130 degrees Celsius. Once it's cooled down, brush off the excess bicarb and rinse it clean under running water. I like to use a microfiber cloth to dry off my work because they're super absorbent, but they don't leave any particles behind. Now it's ready to add some bloody gory details. I'm going to go in with my favourite alcohol inks, using a few different shades of red. Remember that fresh blood will be bright red and wet and glossy looking, whereas old blood will be dry and more brown in appearance as the blood oxidises. I'm going to add some extra wetness by mixing a drop of alcohol ink with UV resin. As the name suggests, UV resin needs to cure in UV light, so I'm going to quickly pop it under my little nail light and then place it out into the sun for a good full cure. All done and bloody disgusting. I hope you enjoyed this creepy polymer clay tutorial for creating a 7 bloody finger. Here's one I prepared earlier as part of my devil's food cake sculpture. Delicious. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you don't want to miss any future vids. I've got quite a few that I'm editing up now. And catch you next time. Bye!